Hey everybody, it is Freekbass and welcome to Bass Talk with Freekbass. We are here Wednesday night, live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's at the Facebook page, facebook.com/Freekbass, over at the YouTube page, youtube.com, the Freekbass channel, and of course at the mighty Twitter, twitter.com/Freekbass. So if you're over at Facebook and you can hit your share button, that will be great. Get it out to a lot of people out there in the world. If you're over at YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and a thumbs up. That really helps out a lot. And if you're over at Twitter, please hit the mighty retweet button as well. So we are here to talk about the circle of fifths. It's why I've looked through all my old lessons, and it's something I haven't really covered a whole lot. And the fifth is such an important note when creating a bass line. As you know, I usually start off the lesson where I'm kind of playing something as we come in. But I wanted to kind of give a little background before I got into this exercise. I came up with an exercise. Let me play it for you. I'll break it down. We'll talk about the fifth a little bit more, and then we'll see where we go. So it goes like this. We're going to start on C, and we're going to basically play a C minor arpeggio. So C to E flat, which is the minor third of C, and you're going to play that on the 6th fret of the same string. So 3 on your A, 6 on the D, to the 5th fret on the D string, which is the G, which is the 5th. Okay, and then we're going to run the circle of fifths, playing that pattern with this little groove I got. So let me play it for you real quick here, and then we will talk about it and talk about the importance of the fifth and everything. So it goes like this. Here we go. Just let that drum beat go for a while. That was dope. Okay, so that is the pattern, and that is a circle of fifths, kind of like a pattern / exercise to emphasize to you where those fifths are. And also, man, that exercise, you will really feel that in your hand once you do that a few times. It's a barn burner in terms of your muscle stuff in there. So first off, let's talk briefly about what I'm doing and where I'm going all the time. So, you know, if you're just starting out, just to let you know, the fifth is next to your main note, whatever note of the key of the song you're in. So if we're in the key of C, for instance, obviously if someone's playing C on the guitar, a C chord, or C on piano, you could, as a bass player, always play C and you're going to be good, obviously, right? So, but you don't want to just be stuck to play C all the time. Well, the next important note in terms of the hierarchy of notes is the fifth note of that key, the fifth note of the scale, C, D, E, F, G. So in this case, the fifth of C would be G. There's a couple reasons for that. One of the reasons I think is the easiest to wrap your head around is that G works for a major or minor scale. And a C major scale, a C, E, G, a C minor scale, or not scale, excuse me, chord. C, E, G, a C minor chord is C, E flat, G. But the G never changes. The fifth never changes. So next to when you're playing a C, that of the octave, you can go to the fifth, and it'll work whether the person is playing a major or a minor chord, which might be nice when you're first starting out. People that have been playing bass for a while, I'm sure, understand this already. But the other cool thing about your bass is that the fifth, your octave, so if you're in the key of C, right, your octave is always 2 strings and 2 frets higher. You know, octave being the same note, but the higher version of that note. So that's just another C, right? 2 frets and 2 strings higher. Well, the fifth is the same exact shape, except it's just 1 string closer. So it's just 1 string and 2 frets higher, right? Or it is directly behind that note. So if I'm in C, if I go straight behind it 1 string, That's the G. That's also the fifth of C. So you have all those little options to write that. Now that's what I came up with the exercise for. Basically, to tell you the circle of fifths, if you think of a clock is the easiest way I can think of it, C being midnight or 12 o'clock. C is 12 o'clock. Then you go to 1 o'clock. So what's the fifth of C? The fifth of C is G. Then you go to 2 o'clock. What's the fifth of G? The fifth of G is D. The D is 2 o'clock. Fifth of D is A is 3 o'clock, et cetera, et cetera. So you go around that way, and it goes all around till you get in a circle all the way till you get back to C. We'll talk more extensively about actually more the going to a deep dive into the theory side of the circle of fifths, but I want you to think about it more in terms of a pattern shapes in this exercise. And basically all you're doing is you're going around that circle and you're moving to the next fifth as you play this pattern I'm going to show you. And the pattern that I'm doing, like I said, it's a C minor arpeggio. So I'm going, like for the first one, I'm going from 3rd fret to the 6th fret on the A to the 5th fret on the D, which is the 5th. That's your 5th, right? And I'm just doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th time I'm doing it, and then I'm coming back to the 6th fret on the A, to that minor third, to the E flat. So C, E flat, G, 4 times, and then coming back to that E flat. All right, and that's the pattern we're going to do on every fifth. So we're moving a fifth. So with fifths you can either move up 2 frets on the next string, or again you can go straight back, and that's an easy way to do it. Now when I get up to, you'll see when I get up to the F sharp, as opposed to keep going up higher and higher up the neck, to make it a little more challenging, because obviously the frets are a little bit bigger down here. When I go to the F sharp, I'm moving down. I'm transposing down to here. And then I think I did it when I went to the F natural too, which is right before the C. So let me play it for you one more time, and then I'll kind of do a little bit of a slower version, okay? Again, so I'm starting on C, and I'll kind of talk my way through it a little bit here this time, all right? So we're starting on C. Then we're moving to G, straight back on the E string. Now we're going to D, 5th fret on A, which is the 5th fret of D, 5th fret on E. Now to E, 7th fret on A, B, 7th fret on E. Now to the F sharp, 2nd fret on E. Now to D flat, which is the 4th fret on A. Now A flat, 4th fret on E. 6th fret on A, which is the E flat. 6th fret on E, which is the B flat. Now we're going to go down to the low F. And back to C all the way across. Now, the other thing that's very important is the finger choice you're using. I'm not, like that. I'm using index to pinky from the 1st to the minor 3rd, and then on that ring finger for the 5th. And if you do that whole circle of fifths through a few times, you really, you could just not even worry about what the theory side of this whole business is, and just literally play that exercise that I just did. And it's a heck of a warm-up for your hand right there too. So it's a great warm-up, it's a great muscle builder, but also reaffirms where all those fifths are on your bass neck. So again, I'm starting on that C, then I go down to the G, 3rd fret on E, then I go to the 5th fret on A, which is the D, which is the 5th of G, now to A, straight back, 5th on E. We're on the 7th fret on A, which is the E. Go to the 5th of that, straight back to the B, 7th fret on E. F sharp, now we're in sharp and flat world. D flat, 4th fret on A, 4th fret on E, A flat. 6th fret on A, which is the E flat, which is the 5th of A flat. Straight back to the B flat, which is the 5th of E flat. Now down to 1, which is the F. Now we're back to that C where we started all the way across. There you go. So that is your exercise for the circle of fifths. Again, if you don't even want to like let your brain think about what does this fifth mean and what does it mean in a theoretical way, just put that aside for right now. Just worry about physically playing it correctly. All right. And then if you want to deep dive a little bit more into what the fifths are, just the biggest, I think probably the easiest Cliff Notes version of what the fifth is, next to your octave or your obviously whatever note of the key of the song you're in, it's your next most important note to create your bass line from. It'll work. I mean, it doesn't work in every single key or chord. There's diminished chords and stuff like that where it doesn't work in, but generally a good 90% of the time, your fifth is going to be another go-to note where you can go to when you're creating a bass line. And again, and where it's laid out is always nice because you've got your octave, 2 frets, 2 strings higher. Your fifth is just 1 string higher, 2 frets, and of course it's also straight back there too as well. So hopefully that'll be a good one, and it's a really great exercise. You really feel it in your hands. So let me know if you got any questions about that. I know I'm real bad about answering questions during this live thing. I'm just trying to keep my train of thought going because I'm a space cadet, and I just want to make sure I'm making everything make sense to you all. So that's it. So leave any questions or comments in the comment section. I'll answer every single one of them. Any ideas for future shows, let me know. We've got some cool things that are going to be happening here soon on Bass Talk with Freekbass. I'm excited to share with you soon. Also, please join me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. For live grooves with Freekbass, and that's on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Freekbass, Freekbass. Just hit the follow button over there, and we make all kinds of we're just literally, I'm creating grooves on the spot with you all and everybody in the chat. It's a really, really cool platform. I think you'd really dig it. But as always, of course, I'll be here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time live. And of course, Saturday nights, don't forget Saturday Night Chit Chat with Freekbass. This Saturday, I've got the amazing Jennifer Hartswick on with me from Trey Anastasio's band. Amazing solo artist too. So you're going to want to check that. And I got a really cool bass player coming up on a future show. So very, very cool. I'm geeking on it, and hopefully you will be too. I'll tell you about that hopefully next week's show. So thanks for being here, and let me know any questions. Everybody have an amazing week. Love y'all.